Welcome all the students. Standard 9, Subject Science Part 1. We are going to learn lesson number 3, Current Electricity. Our today's topics are resistivity, electric circuit, conductors and insulators, Ohm's law. Students, in the last lecture, we have studied about resistance. The hindrance occurring in the flow of electrons is called as the resistance. Today we are going to learn about the resistivity. Resistivity is the specific property of the material. It can be calculated as follows. At a given temperature, the resistance R of a conductor depends on its length L, area of cross section A, and the material it is made of. If the resistance of a conductor is R, then R is directly proportional to L. That is, if the length of the material is increased, the resistance of that material also increases. Again, R is inversely proportional to the area of cross section, that is capital A. That is, if the area of cross section is increased, the resistance of the material decreases and vice versa. And therefore, we can write as R is proportional to L upon A. Now, we take here the proportionality constant as rho. Now, see here, this symbol is known as the rho and it is known as the proportionality constant. And by taking this proportionality constant, we can write capital R is equal to rho into L upon A. Rho is called as the constant of proportionality and it's called the resistivity of the material. The unit of resistivity is ohm meter. Now, resistivity is the specific property of the material and for different materials, resistivity is different. That is, resistivity is independent of the length of the material, area of the cross section of the material. It is constant for every material. It does not change. Then next, think about it. How will you prove that the unit of resistivity is ohm meter? Now look in this picture. This is the diagram of a conductor who has resistivity rho. Its length is denoted by capital L. A is its area of cross section. Capital R is the resistance of that material, and here this is the formula to calculate the resistivity. Capital R is equal to rho into L upon A. By using this formula, we can find out the unit of resistivity. We already know the SI units of resistance, length and area of cross section. These SI units are unit of resistance is ohm, unit of length is square meter and that of area is, unit of length is meter and that of area is square meter. Now, we are going to find the unit for resistivity. Use this formula R is equal to rho into L upon A. Then L and A can be shifted to this side and we can write rho is equal to R into capital A upon capital L. Now, in this formula, replace their units. Unit for R is ohm, unit for area is square meter and unit for length is meter. We have replaced these units. Now these m square and m gets cancelled with each other. Hmm? Then we can write rho is equal to ohm into meter, and therefore we can say that the unit of resistivity is ohm into meter. This is the SI unit of resistivity. Now we have already learned that the resistivity of every material is different and it remains constant for that material. Okay, here there is the resistivity of some materials given. The resistivity of copper is 1.7 into 10 raised to minus 8 ohm meter. Resistivity of nichrome is 1.1 into 10 raised to minus 6 ohm meter, and that of diamond is 1.62 into 10 raised to 13 to 1.62 into 10 raised to 18 ohm meter. These are the resistivities of these specific materials. Thus, resistance and resistivity are the different properties. Now, we can write the difference between them as follows. At first, resistance and then resistivity. At first, we can write the definition of both the quantities. The property of a conductor due to which it opposes a flow of electric current through it is known as the resistance of that material. Then resistivity. Resistivity is the resistance of a conductor of unit length and unit area of cross section. Again, resistance is the ratio of potential difference V and the current I, and therefore the formula of resistance is capital R is equal to V upon I, and the formula of resistivity is rho is equal to R into A upon L. These are the formulae for resistance and resistivity. Then resistance depends on the length and area of cross section of a conductor. Okay, R is directly proportional to L and R is inversely proportional to A. You know this, and therefore resistance depends on the length and area of cross section. But resistivity does not depend on the length and area of cross section. That is, whatever be the length and whatever be the area of cross section, the resistivity of that specific material is specific. Then the SI unit of ohm, SI unit of resistance is ohm, and the SI unit of resistivity is ohm meter. These are some points of differences between resistance and resistivity. You should write it in your notebook. Now, symbols for components of an electric circuit and their uses. Now, for this academic year 2020-21, this part given in the textbook is left for the self-study of the students, but for drawing a circuit diagram, we have to learn all these symbols. So, I am giving these symbols in this video. Look here, the first component is electric cell. Electric cell, for electric cell, the symbol is like this. That is, there are two ends of the electric cell which are shown by the positive and negative terminals. You can draw electric cell like this, and electric cell, this symbol is used in the circuit to apply a potential difference between two ends of a conductor. This is the function of the electric cell. Then battery. Battery means there are more than one cell used in the circuit. Then we can draw the symbol of the battery. For two cells you can draw this symbol twice. For three cells you can draw this symbol thrice like this. To apply a larger potential difference between two ends of a conductor, we can use battery. Then plug key or tap key. Tap key is drawn like this. For open circuit, the plug key can be drawn like this, and for closed circuit the plug key is like this. Open circuit means the current is not flowing in that circuit, and closed circuit means the current is flowing in the circuit. Then crossing wires, conducting wires, light bulb, you can draw m, small m's, letter of small m for the bulb. Then resistance is denoted by this symbol. This is the zigzag line across the electric wire. Then variable resistance is denoted with this arrowhead. Ammeter, capital A, you have to draw in the circle and you have to show its positive and negative terminals. Voltmeter, that is V, and positive and negative terminals of it. Now these are the symbols. Ammeter is connected in the circuit in series, while voltmeter is connected in circuit in parallel combination. Then we are going to learn what is an electric circuit and how to draw it. Now electric circuit, its definition can be written as a continuous path of an electric current through conducting wires connected to the two ends of a cell, and other resistance is called an electric circuit. This is the definition of the electric circuit. Then diagram of electric circuit. For this diagram, at first we can draw here the symbol of electric cell or battery, and here is the plug key. For open circuit, you can use the symbol for open plug key, and for closed circuit you can draw this symbol. Then conducting wires can be drawn like this. That is, you have to draw a rectangle here. This is the conducting wire. Then this is the flow of the direction of the flow of the electric current. This direction is from positive terminal to the negative terminal. These arrowheads show the direction of the electric current. Then here ammeter is connected in series combination. This is the symbol for ammeter. You can write here capital A instead of this arrowhead. And this is the voltmeter, which is connected in parallel combination with the resistance of the wire. Then this is the resistance. Resistance is shown like these zigzag lines. Okay. Again, you can draw here electric bulb. When the plug key is closed, the bulb is glowing, and when the plug key is open, the bulb is not glowing. You have to take these precautions while drawing the circuit diagram. Draw the circuit diagram in your notebook. Then the next part is conductors and insulators. Now, at first, conductors. Conductors are those substances which have very low resistance. These substances have very low resistance, therefore they can carry current from them, and therefore they are known as the conductors. All the metals are good conductors of electricity. Here are some examples of metals: silver, copper, aluminium, etc. Then insulators. Insulators means those substances which have extremely high resistance, and therefore through which the current cannot be flow. Insulators have very high resistances, that is, they do not contain free electrons, and therefore they cannot carry electric current through them. Examples of insulators are rubber, woods, glass, etc. You know, in our domestic circuit appliances, a copper wire is used because copper wire is the good conductor of electricity. And while doing the work of electricity, we can use rubber slippers, or we can take wooden stool or chair, etc. for that work, because all these substances are insulators of the electricity, and therefore we can use these substances while doing any work with the electricity. Then the substances which contain free electrons are conductors, and those substances which do not contain free electrons are insulators. This is also the definition of conductors and insulators. You know what are free electrons? Free electrons means the negative charges flowing in that material. Our body is also a good conductor of electricity.
The Ohm's law in simple words gives us the relationship between the current, the voltage and the resistance in a circuit. This tells us that the flow of current is directly proportional to the potential difference between the points and inversely proportional to the resistance. If the potential difference between 2 points is more, the current flowing through it will be more. And if the resistance is more, the current flowing through it will be lesser. This is assuming that the other factors are constant. Let's do a quick activity to understand Ohm's law. We would need a nichrome wire, a voltmeter, an ammeter, and 3 electric cells of very low voltages, somewhere in the range of 1 to 1.5 volts. First, we form a circuit like this which has just one cell as the source. This is the nichrome wire, which is the resistance also. This is the ammeter, which is in series. This is the voltmeter, which is connected in parallel. And this is the plug key. We close the plug key and note down a few readings. We need to note down the reading in the ammeter and the reading in the voltmeter. Let the current and the potential difference be I1 and V1 respectively. In the second case, connect 2 cells in the circuit and note the respective readings of the ammeter and the voltmeter. Don't forget, the ammeter gives the value of current through the nichrome wire and the voltmeter gives the potential difference across the nichrome wire. Let's say the readings are I2 and V2 respectively. And then repeat the same procedure for the third case when 3 cells are used as the source. You will notice that as the number of cells increases, the current as well as the voltage increase. But are they increasing proportionally? To know that, we add an additional column at the right which calculates the value of V over I for each case. You will notice that the ratio of potential difference to the current in each case will approximately be equal. This tells us that the potential difference V across the ends of a wire is directly proportional to the current flowing through it. This relationship was discovered by a German physicist, Georg Simon Ohm, in the year 1827. Notice that the resistance here is constant, and we also assume that all other factors including temperature are also constant. This is the Ohm's law.
Now in the last video, you have seen the experimental demonstration of Ohm's law. Ohm's law, this is the practical included in our syllabus. It is given in your Balbharti journal also. You have to do it in your journal. And now the homework for you. Draw the diagram of electric circuit. Give reason. Wood and glass are insulators. And copper is the good conductor of electricity. You have to give reasons for these two statements. Then write the difference between resistance and resistivity. Thank you.